everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And we watched a movie.
It's a thing we like to do.
I guess it is, eh?
Yeah.
If this year has taught us anything. So what we watched, a new release on Netflix called Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Who is Ma Rainey, you ask? Well, let me tell you. She's actually a real person, or was back in the day, the mother of the blues. A recording artist, one of the first successful black recording artists. Ma Rainey was a real person. Black Bottom was a song she recorded, and this movie is about the day they recorded it. An auspicious day. What a day.
It's a busy day.
It is based on August Wilson's wonderful play of the same name. It stars Viola Davis, who I always want to call Olivia. Don't be dyslexic if you can help it. Viola Davis, the wonderful Viola Davis, in the role of Ma Rainey. Real name Gertrude. Oh. We had a puppy named Gertie, so we're always a little sentimental about that name. And so she's the queen. She knows it. She's showing up late to the recording session because she can. That's right. The boys in the band have been rehearsing in the recording studio, which has there ever been in the history of dank basement rooms a more dank basement room than this?
They really scouted a good location.
Woo! Yeah, it is not the cream of the crop. It's not a beautiful space.
No.
And the guys have been, some of them have been rehearsing. Some of them have been going on diatribes about how they don't need to rehearse. And then others have been going on diatribes about that particular stance. So it's not all been musicianship.
There's actually been very little musicianship.
Yes. So the horn player, the arrogant, the wonderful, magnetic horn player, Levee, played by Chadwick Boseman. So he's really the guy you need to watch out for in this, and believe me, you won't need the reminder because all eyes are drawn to him. So this is really, again, the story of this one song being recorded, although the play and the movie end up speaking to larger issues, to really the black experience in the early 20th century. Just observing how this recording session goes, people's interactions, but also they're bringing in their past traumas, their childhoods, where they came from, where they want to go, and the obstacles to getting there. There's a lot going on in this tiny, steamy little room. So yes, Chadwick Boseman is the horn player. He has just bought himself a pair of $11 shoes.
He splurged.
Oh, he's so proud.
They're nice
so
shoes.
Proud. Yeah, they are. They were nice shoes, weren't they?
Yeah.
$11 though. Ooh, steep. That's a week's salary. For context, it is Chicago 1927. That's better context.
That is, yeah.
Sorry. It would be better to just come out and say the exact time and day because we know them. So yes, he has just purchased these shoes. He's here to record the song. They've all been touring together, so they're kind of sick of each other. They kind of know everything about each other. They know how to push each other's buttons. That seems for sure.
It does.
And then finally, Ma arrives, and she is fuel to the kindling. Not through any fault of her own, but she is the presence everyone is there for. Everyone is orbiting around her, and very few people are happy about it. Levee, the Chadwick Boseman character, really believes that he could be leading his own band, that he should be writing his own songs and getting his own recording deals.
He's probably right.
Yeah, he probably is. And then, of course, there are the white men in the room. The managers, the producers, the people who are there to make money off of the black people. And of course, by in the room, I mostly mean not in the room, because the room is very uncomfortable. It's stifling, it's crowded. The white guys are upstairs in a much cushier office. and not even willing to spring for a 5-cent bottle of Coke on a super hot day for their singer who is recording a song. That seems like bad business, just to spite that 5-cent Coke. But they spite a lot of, they cut corners where the black performers are concerned. So there is tension between Ma and Levee. Because Levee has all these ideas about how to rearrange the music, and Ma is like, this is my show, you do what I say, remember that I'm the boss. And she's not being a dick, she's right. This is the Ma Rainey show, it's her name on the record. But he really feels like he has his ear to the ground, he knows what the people want right now, and it's a changing sound. And the other musicians, because there are 3 other guys in the room, boy, they are walking a tightrope, these people, trying to keep the boss happy, the boss that's in the room and the bosses that aren't in the room. And they also just want to like record this and go home, so they just want to, say yes, yes, yes to Chadwick Boseman just to shut him up so he'll do the work. Of course, there's also an extra person in the room, Ma's nephew, I think, who's going to record like a spoken word introduction. One small hitch. He stutters.
A lot, yeah.
So that's really extending their day and getting on their nerves and costing money. And yet she is very insistent that this is a deal breaker. So there's just a lot of going on. There's this battle for control. And like I said, it's Ma Rainey's name on the album, it's her voice on the record. But certainly the white men who want to profit off this record have a very certain idea of what they want and what they think will be profitable. And it's not necessarily what she wants to record. So there's this constant butting of heads, this push and pull. And so different factions are warring with each other on this day. Doesn't help that Levee is making eyes at Ma's girlfriend. That's probably a little layer that we did not need on this day of days, and yet we got it. So that's just the basic framework. I thought it was so well shot. The director, he really gives us such a great sense of claustrophobia in this little room where there are so many big egos and so many big wounds, which I think is even more important than the egos, because they're fighting over really actually kind of small stuff because they don't have much control. So what little they do, they really want for themselves. But everybody has got these big wounds that they're walking around with. Generational trauma, really. And so every interaction that you have is sort of informed by this, right? By these traumas that have happened. It's very hard to shake this stuff. And of course, in 1927, racism, I don't want to say is still a daily event, because of course it is, and I think it is today. I just mean, it is super overt. They're not even trying to pretend. It is in your face all the time. And yet they're being told to be grateful that they're not slaves anymore. Like, that's recent enough in the background that, which, I mean, it is, I still think it is horrifyingly recent. Whew. There's just a lot. There's a lot informing what seems like just a simple day of recording some music. There's a lot of kindling. There's a lot of kindling. There's a lot of possible fires. And and then there's a lot of fanning of the flames. Yeah. So yes, we are going to watch it burn. That's where it's headed. You know it from the minute we start.
Oh, sure. How else can it go? There's too much going on.
Yes. So we've really got Viola Davis and Chadwick Boseman. Those are the 2 biggest characters in this, the 2 biggest personalities in this, and certainly heavyweight actors playing them.
Absolutely.
So there's no question that your eyes will be between those 2, as it should be. And you may know that this is Chadwick Boseman's final role, his final appearance in the movies. He passed away earlier this year, and I think we're still reeling from that because we didn't know that he was dying, that he had battled colon cancer, I think, for something like 4 years. So he was receiving treatment for that while filming this, but nobody knew. So this is his final role, and I have to say, I think we do have a tendency to like romanticize the dead, and you know, we want to like congratulate them, whether or not it was truly deserved. But this role, what a legacy, what a last piece of yourself to leave. I know he didn't know it was going to be, but this is, I think, truly his best role to date, his best performance. Powerful, electrifying. Wow. You know, he's just got this energy to him, and you get a sense of musicality from him, even though, as Sean said, there was oddly little music going on a lot of the time.
There's no time.
There's more fighting than music. But yeah, he is magnetic to watch.
Yes, he is.
It's hard to take your eyes off of him, and you shouldn't. You should keep your eyes where they belong. Viola Davis, of course, luckily, is a powerhouse herself, so she stands up very well to him. And yeah, this is a real doozy. Dare I say posthumous Oscar?
I think you dare.
I think it is not out of the realm of possibility.
No, I think that's a real chance here.
Yeah, this is that good.
Yeah, it is.
Good for him. But the thing is, like, the really great thing is that you would say this even if he was alive. It is a great performance from him. You don't have to be dead to appreciate it.
No.
This is really, true. Really good stuff.
Yes, it is. It would not be a gift to him. He would have earned it. Yes,
very much so. So I mentioned, I think before, that this is based on a play by August Wilson. And Denzel Washington produces this movie. He has stated that he wants to bring all 10 of August Wilson's, they're called the Century Cycle plays, so there are 10 of them. He wants all of them to come to the screen. So he started with Fences. You may have heard of a little movie called Fences. Viola Davis got her Oscar for that movie. She acted opposite Denzel in that one. In this one, he is just the producer, so he brings Viola back. Excellent casting, no question. It is a very different character, but she is a super chameleon. Like, there's a lot that she can do, and she really stretches. This woman is formidable in a lot of ways, and is a historical figure we probably should know and appreciate more than we do. But she's really made, in Wilson's material, a real person. She's not just some recording artist who seems untouchable.
Right.
She is a real person, and she's bringing all of her realities to this studio with her.
Oh, she's real.
Yes. So the next movie that Denzel is doing is called The Piano Lesson, and in that one he is casting John David Washington.
Oh,
a guy
nepotism.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think it's like nepotism when you hire your no good children to like be in a government cabinet that they're not qualified to be in.
Yeah.
I think when your kid is like super good, it's probably not the same.
No.
So I'll be excited to see that one, especially because it'll be directed by Barry Jenkins, who we love.
Absolutely.
Will bring a lot of goodness to the screen, I'm sure. But in some ways, you might also say that nepotism was at play here. Obviously, Viola Davis is Denzel Washington's great friend, and they have been for many, many years in Hollywood. But Chadwick Boseman was his protege, was Denzel Washington's protege. He really took him under his wing. Since Chadwick was just a kid in school, actually, Denzel sponsored him, paid his tuition to be in Felicia Rashad's acting class at Howard University. So that is like, for people who really mean it, it is 10-person limit. So it's a pricey thing and quite a process to get in. And then if you do get in, if you're lucky enough and talented enough to get in, you know, now you got to come up with the money. And so Denzel sponsored him. Not just him. Actually, I know Denzel does a lot for the community. So in part because of that, they became good friends, and he really just has helped steward his career through Hollywood. And as you know, I mean, Chadwick ended up being Black Panther. It's, you know, hard to get bigger than that in Hollywood. And we, you know, embraced that movie so wholeheartedly. It's hard to even think about the sequel without him. So Chadwick Boseman, super great in this.
Absolutely.
Super great in this. Viola Davis, very, very good as well. It's not a rough watch because it's so good. Like, the quality is just so there that even though it's like a lot of tension, lateral violence, it's not a good day for anyone in this room, but it is just electrifying to watch.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. It's a really good movie. Mm-hmm. And it's anchored by those two performances.
Absolutely. So will we see a couple of acting noms come out of this one?
I think we might.
I think we might come Oscar time. I mean, Oscar season is going to be a really weird season for this 2020 movie year. I think the Oscars themselves are going to be in April 2021, so that's weird. So it's going to be a while yet until we hear who's on the ballot. But I would not be surprised to see his name there.
Oh, they're going to be in contention. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So you can start talking about that now. And again, it is streaming on Netflix, so you can watch it right now. It's really great. And I'm so sorry that we have lost him.
Of course.
Obviously, he's showing us that he can do better and better, and he kind of came out of the gate at a pretty high bar.
He did. Yeah.
So, it is a big loss, but this is quite a legacy to have left.
Yes,
I think he left the best of himself in this movie. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye.
Bye.